Okay, just a little bit of an update here on how I am doing my, you know, uh, I guess conversion. So, as you can see, I've done quite a bit of the stuff in Europe. I have to add, um, what's it called, Ukraine here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the borders here. I need to give Germany a bit more of Hungary. And there's supposed to be a gap here, and then Rome's supposed to come up more here, so I've got to work on that. I finished Africa pretty much. So, except I messed that up. That's not supposed to be there. And, yeah, Rome's purple, so just to make it different. And as you can see, that's got a placeholder, guys. These are base things off of things that they should be close to. France, and for these three. And then Italy for Rome and the Papal States, Lombardia, and I think Modena too, so just everything. Got Scandinavia finished except for putting Finland there. So, Iceland doesn't have a minister at the beginning, so. But when the game loads, it'll appear with one. I haven't done anything south of the United States. I gave them Canada and set up Newfoundland. And I have the Hearts of Iron 2 map finished. But this is what I'm currently working on, so I'll show this first, and then and I haven't done anything with Asia, aside from creating Indochina and defining my lands, for the most part. There's odd things with Persia. Because the borders are... Here, I'll show you. Because the borders, I guess, the coastal areas are so thick, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't want to leave... I don't want to leave them with not enough land to do anything with, because they'll end up... It'll end up being cutting them off, like, right here. And then Polotsk is going to be over here, with where, you know, they already changed them, changed Afghanistan to them. So this is where Polotsk is going to be, and they're going to get part of Persia as well. But it's yeah, because like in Victoria too, it's very thin coastal border. Like, notice this province is what bothers me the most, because it's a big thing. So I'll probably just end up leaving this as being Persia, or Polotsk, depending on how I end up doing it. Because, yeah, I kind of want to favor other people rather than myself when doing my conversion, and I don't want to cut too much of Persia out. Not that Persia is probably going to have much of an effect on the game, but it's just to make the game harder for myself. I did do a little bit of Turkish Caliphate. On the plus side, it runs better than Victoria too, so that's good. I'm also going to lessen some of the blows of some of the things. Like this, I'm only going to give them, like, this coastal area. I'm not giving them this. And probably, like, these 4 provinces here, too. And as you can see, my Brittany is slightly smaller on the bottom than what it should be. I figured this river is like a natural border, so... because you have to take states, specifically, in Victoria, too. And those kind of concepts don't really exist. Although they sort of do, because you can see, like, the little border here. I decided to ignore the fact that I took the entire state sometimes and just put where, like, this is a natural border, so I decided to leave it there. Gives me less land. It's probably not going to affect a whole lot anyway, so The hardest thing is probably going to be parceling out little bits of the Soviet Union. China actually won't be hard. Dividing nationalist China in half, about here, is all I'm going to have to do. Basically, what I do is I go into the folders. And it's a lot simpler for me, having worked with Victoria 2 for quite a while, to do this than Hearts of Iron 2, because Hearts of Iron 2 is very, I don't know, it's older. It's a lot more like Crusader Kings or EU2 than anything else. Victoria 1, and the way the modding works. There's a lot fewer provinces in that, so you get a little hard, you get a little hard and fast conversion, so everything looks kind of shitty. And some countries are like, well, what's the point of even having them? Like Belgium, it doesn't seem like there's any point in having Belgium in Hearts of Iron 2, because it's only got like 3 provinces. Although it was a much faster process. I finished that conversion in like 2 days, and not the whole conversion, just the map conversion. But in this, like, you can select an entire like swath of, and there's like an editor for Hearts of Iron 2. That's why it's easier. That's why it's faster. It's not easier for the reason it's just more time consuming because there's more provinces. Like probably 5 or 6 times as many provinces in this game as in Hearts of Iron 2. But the basically it's divided into different things. Like the Soviet Union has its own folder. It's just like Victoria 2. Germany has its own. Eastern Europe is one, and aside from Romania and Hungary, I'm finished with that. And like Serbia and Yugoslavia. Well, Serbia, I had to add several countries to this. This is Yugoslavia. If anybody's played this game, that's what it is here. And then the UK has a huge folder with a lot of Africa in it, and then France has a huge folder with a lot of Africa in it and a lot of Asia in it, both of them. The Netherlands has quite a few things, but they actually have more stuff now. But they're basically stuck into different folders, and I can just select all of the files at once, and with Notepad++, I can just replace all of the instances of a certain name with another one, like the FRA tag I replaced with the Netherlands. When I was finished parceling it out to everyone else, I didn't have to go through and assign it. Because of the way the provinces are named, I kind of have to go through manually and find out which one is which. And the editor doesn't work for the motherland, which is what I have. And that's another reason I'm not using, because I don't have the latest stuff for Hearts of Iron 2. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on here. I feel a lot more comfortable modding this because it's very familiar, like Victoria 2. I didn't really get into modding some of the earlier games, so Hearts of Iron 2 is very like alien to me, especially in the way the the events kind of have the same language and stuff too, but it's not exactly the same. I could probably cut and paste some of the events for Victoria 2, and they would just work in Hearts of Iron with only minor changes. But yeah, I'm gonna show you the Hearts of Iron 2 thing as well. Okay, so here's the Hearts of Iron 2 map. For those of you familiar with the game, you can probably tell that I have to fudge a few things. Greece. This is Greece, basically. And I just modded the map so that they would have the same amount of stuff. But as you can see here, like, actually Belgium is 5 provinces, but it's still pretty bad. The borders are a lot clunkier, and because of the stuff I have to do. If you recognize some of the colors here, I think this is just I used some tags because I don't know, I'm not familiar with modding this stuff as much, so I just I couldn't get the user-defined ones to work properly, so I just replaced existing stuff with existing tags because that worked, and it was just easier to do it that way than to replace something. Because a lot of the tags are just simply not going to exist. Vichy France, for example, is what the nationalist France here. Somebody told me to call it Archist, so I did. Nationalist France is basically what France was, and then there's Occitania here, which is the, I guess, normal France. So it's like a juxtaposition of how it was in real life, and like, I don't know, after Germany took over. So the fascists are in the north, and the non-fascists are in the south. Asturias really got the short end in the Hearts of Iron 2 conversion with 5 provinces, and then Catalonia would only end up with 3. So I combined them. Also, it saved me a tag. Papal States, if you don't recognize who this is, or Luxembourg. So that was a random tag, and I just picked one. And then Morocco, I think actually is a tag. And then the Knights Templar, like, yeah, Tunisia. I didn't expect a lot of revolts and stuff for the Knights Templar. So, and then Tunisia is one of my like major core provinces since the Crusader Kings. So I just chose a tag I didn't think would ever show up. Which is one of the reasons Luxembourg is the Papal States, because Germany has got a pretty strong hold on them. I replaced the United States provinces in Africa with Liberia, because it makes more sense. I did that in Hearts of Iron 3 as well, if you noticed. I added Rhodesia to Hearts of Iron 3, but it's actually already a country. 2. This actually has like dudes. And if you notice that I separated Rhodesia and South Africa from my country in Hearts of Iron 3 and 2, I decided I was going to keep Zanzibar, but Zanzibar is not a separate province in either game. So I decided I was just going to keep Dar es Salaam in this, but I made it the capital of Rhodesia in Hearts of Iron 2. Yeah. Another, thing that would be bad if it was 2 provinces, and like my holdings in Eastern Africa are 2 provinces in this, and it's quite a chunk of provinces in Hearts of Iron 3. South America. This is a placeholder tags for Argentina and Brazil, and Uruguay, because those don't exist down here. I just put them further up, and then I'll probably change the names later. If I end up using this, I'll probably go through the entire process of converting them at least to the point where they have names and stuff. And then I'll make the decision before I start writing events, because I'm definitely not writing events for both games. Mexico is Yucatan. It just uses the Mexico tag. Panama is what the USCA is. And then I think this is just Canada, yeah. And you can see I updated the flags. So, except this one, I didn't update this one. But I even updated like Japan's flag. Mongolia's flag, I don't think I changed. Turkish Caliphate's the same because it's the same flag as Turkey. So, Indochina, I put the Union flag on there. And the Netherlands has their communist flag from Victoria. And Asturias also has their communist flag. So, this is basically done. There's a couple of things here and there that I kind of should update. I should put this in Rhodesia and things like that. Literally the last thing I did, because I completely forgot that Germany took part of Took part of Occitania. Yeah. Oh, and I just left Hungary as like a big country in this, because this is like, there's like a thing here where Germany owns like this stuff, or this stuff here, and then there's another chunk of Hungary over here, and then it's just that. So, and then I left Yugoslavia because I didn't want to use 3 tags for a country. So, Croatia, and Serbia. Well, 2 tags. But as you can see, it's a lot sloppier, like Modena's Italian Socialist Republic, and Venice is a huge fucking province. It takes up like 1 million spaces. And then I only ended up giving them 1 province over here, when in fact their holdings in Italy should be like this. But that wouldn't give me enough room to put Italy, which is, well, it's Lombardia, which is a German vassal. As you can see, I updated the flags, but I didn't change the names. But you can change the names fairly easily, as you can see. So this is pretty much done for the map conversion part, and then I'd have to change a few things, like Soviet Union. I'd have to change back to Russia if I was going to bother to do that. You know, it might be better for them to be in the Comintern anyway, but I'm not really making those kind of decisions yet. Well, as you can see, I cleaned up the borders with Mongolia and Manchuria and Turkish Caliphate. I changed it back to Manchuria from Manchukuo because it was stupid. Azerbaijan. I haven't done this stuff in Hearts of Iron 3 yet, but as you can see, it also has the same problem with Persia, and you can see this is how I knew it was going to be really small. But Hearts of Iron 2, it kind of doesn't matter that much because they're already kind of screwed. So, there's that. There's that aspect of it. Just looking at things, I'll probably end up playing Hearts of Iron 3 rather than Hearts of Iron 2. I know the people were hoping I would do Hearts of Iron 2, but like, one of the things that I heard most often was that it's easier to mod and it's more flexible. But from what I've seen, that's not actually true. At least with the expansions put on. At least for me, being very familiar with modding from Victoria 2, at least in a simple kind of way, I'm familiar with it. It'd be much easier for me to work with Hearts of Iron 3 than Hearts of Iron 2. But I'm still thinking about it. But I'm pretty sure at this point Hearts of Iron 3 is what I'm going to go with. Simply for the reason that it'll be easier for me to mod effectively. Like, for this, I have no idea where I'm going to start after this. Like, writing the events and stuff. Compared to Hearts of Iron 3. Hearts of Iron 3, I'm pretty much know how to set them up. I don't remember ever modding any of these games back when I was playing these ones instead of the newer ones. And I've actually played this more than Hearts of Iron 3, but yeah, for the same reason I was explaining, it's easier to mod this Hearts of Iron 3 because I'm more familiar with the system. So that's just a little update. If you still have any suggestions, just keep them coming. I should be finished with the conversion of Hearts of Iron 3, the map conversion at least. Probably by the end of the week. And then I'll start working on little things like, well, the flags and stuff are done for Hearts of Iron 3 because you have to have those done or the country won't work. Whereas in this, I can just leave things lazily the way they were. For example, this crap. And then just basically have to go through and change all that stuff in this game. Change the ministers, a little bit at least. At least separate them out into, like, I don't know, like give these guys fascist ones, and these guys the socialist or democratic ones, because I think they were communist for a little bit. I don't remember now. And then of course changing Russia to be however it is. It's still probably going to be mostly socialist, and swap back and forth between the way it is, and I think they're a democracy right now. So, but that's going to take a little while. I expected that to take, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, depending on how motivated I am. And then I have to balance the alliances and assign the victory points on the map. And then I have to basically rewrite the script for either game to basically set up the war. Because there's a certain level of contrivedness that's going to happen in a World War II scenario anyway. I mean, World War II, if you just looked at it on paper, you would think it was pretty contrived. So it doesn't seem as stupid to just kind of set up, oh, and then this event happens, because those guys are crazy. Because that kind of thing is exactly what happened in World War II. Mostly with Germany going ballistic and attacking everyone. But, I mean, like Japan, their biggest trading partner was the United States. So, I mean, on paper, in a video game, it's kind of hard to see, you know, a link besides, like, you know, having a non-aggression pact and having an alliance and having trade relations for a long time. This sort of thing doesn't mean anything. Oh, yeah, and like this stuff. This little top thingy. It's not different. As you can see, the Celtic Union, or the Celtic Empire, I should say, just uses the United Kingdom tag. So the events, I think are going to take quite a bit longer to write, depending on how in-depth I'm going to go into them. Obviously, I just have to write AI events for a lot of things, but if I was actually going to make it a mod, which at this point, I know a lot of people are asking me for the mods, I don't think I'm actually going to release them, because, well, on my channel I have a comment that explains why, but I'll say it here for people who don't read that stuff. The way I mod is very, very jerry-rigging. I take, like this, I just took the tags and changed it to what is going to work for me as the player of the Celtic Empire. Not the player for, you know, Ukraine. I don't really care if it doesn't have a lot of decisions or events that don't affect me as the player for the United Kingdom, or the Celtic Empire, as the case may be. And really, they're there to affect the game, to make things interesting for me. So there's not really anything that works a lot towards making the game interesting as Ukraine. The only one I really care about is making my game interesting. In Victoria 2, I made a couple events like that changed Istanbul to Constantinople and gave them a decision to form the Roman Empire. I'll still do things like that because it's interesting to see for me on the map what they're doing, and it makes it so that it gives them a motivation to do something. But playing as the Roman Empire, you really only have two decisions that are any different from playing as, I don't remember what their base was. I think I just created an entirely new country and used the Greek names and stuff. Yeah, and Germany, that just came out of, like, I didn't know who was going to win in Germany. That was pretty tense. That was an interesting part of the game. But that was already, that kind of dynamic was already set up in Victoria too. I mean, it was just replacing Prussia with Bohemia and Moravia, and they lost. So, I mean, this is Austria right here. So, and I'm gonna make Hitler a minister. like one of the fascist guys, but he's not going to be the leader. So because having the Adolf there is just funny. Yeah, so for those of you who are wanting to play my mod, I'm sorry, but I'm just not good enough at modding to really set it up in such a way that I can release it. As I've explained before, I'm very haphazard about it. It may not even work on most installs. Most of the mods from my other games are from obsolete versions of the game. All of them are, now that I think about it. Except for Crusader Kings, but I didn't mod Crusader Kings at all. The only way I know of to release the mod aside from EU3, which is a proper mod, because when I was modding Victoria 2, the mod loader didn't work, so there was no reason to try to put it in a mod folder or something. And like I said, it's an obsolete version of the game that everything is set up for. So I'd have to go in and figure out which is going to be wrong or not. This may not be. Well, this is an obsolete version. I didn't get the most recent expansion, and I think Hearts of Iron 3 is still the most recent. I'd have to check the updater. I played that more recently, but. This is just Doomsday Armageddon. I had to reinstall it, so it's probably not even patched. So for that reason, I'm not going to be releasing any of the mods. I may change my mind at the end, but I definitely will have to update them. What else? I'm still listening to your suggestions, so keep sending them. Private messages or... it's harder for me to keep up to date with the comments in the video. You can put them in this video, I suppose. And anything else you want to ask me about, I suppose. For those of you who care about Star Control 3, I'm going to be working on a video tonight for Star Control 3. Assuming there aren't any problems. So, that's just the status with the conversion, and I'll see you later.